Yo, what up? How you guys doing out there today? This is your boy Roto Beast. I'm here with my boy Jeremy, aka DFS Dudes, and we're here to present you our NBA morning shoot around for Friday, November 16th. If you're new to this channel, please make sure to click the subscribe button below so you can watch all my NBA, NFL, and MLB videos. If you haven't came and checked out our site at dfscheatsheet.com, you're absolutely missing out. We got all the tools to help you compete with the pros day in and day out, including a complete optimizer, tons of content, everything that you need. Hey, come check out the site, dfscheatsheet.com. So, hey, how you doing out there, Jeremy?
What's up, man? Doing the video early tonight. I like it. See if we can get some more interaction from the
Hey,
viewers.
another
Got a game going on right
$2.
now.
And we cashed out tonight on Fanduel and Draftkings with our cash lineups. Hey, things went well, bro. Starting the week off right. Definitely the best way we want to do it. Looking good so far. So yeah, man, let's just get into this slate if you're ready to
Norm-
go.
normally, we're pretty superstitious about saying that the line cashed out, but up 45 points in the line with a quarter to go in this game, I think it's pretty safe. Hey,
No,
but
we go
real quick,
cash
the
out tonight.
line probably takes down everything. Let me quote you last night. I am never, ever, 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 ever playing this dude, Omari Spellman, ever, ever, ever again.
Bro, I
You
don't
got Millsap right. You
I
got
ain't playing.
Millsap right. You got Millsap right. But your boy Spellman, bro, 8 times 3 value, 37.5 points.
Well, I mean, check it out though. In our cash line for tonight, we got Millsap, 53 fantasy points, bro. The dude went off.
Yeah,
Okay. Also
8.6.
got, hey, we also got Herman Gomez, 39.3. You know what I mean?
9.6 value.
Okay. Okay. Hey, one more. We also got your boy Jeremy Lin, 4.2. He got 26. That was six and a
6.1.
half, almost seven. Hey, we
6.1.
yeah, hey, we had some good plays tonight, bro. Tonight,
Absolutely.
we definitely had some good plays.
I just want to throw your boy Spellman in there because you know it's a dude
God,
I've been on
no,
all
fuck
year.
that dude Spellman, bro. He fucking cost me. Hey, he lost me some money the other night. I ain't rolling with that dude,
Hey,
bro.
but you'll play him again because you know that we talk a lot of shit, but at the end of the day, we stick to the process. And if that's where it's at, that's where it's at. You know that.
I know what you're saying, bro. You know I know.
Let's roll. Let's get into this thing and break it down.
All right, so hey, we got an 8 game slate, solid slate. So we'll just get started with the first game first. First game of the night, it is gonna be Miami going into Indiana to face the Pacers. This game has a 213 implied total, and Indiana is actually favored by 5 in this one.
Yeah, man. So Hassan Whiteside looks like his price is down a little bit, down from 92 to 88, 33 and 27 in his last 2 games. I kind of have a rule with this guy where I don't like to play him on the road just because he likes to get into foul trouble. But I think I can make an exception on this particular slate, especially with Indiana, Miles Turner. I think Hassan Whiteside could just punk Miles Turner all night tomorrow night. So Hassan Whiteside is a guy that could be on my radar. Once we start breaking down the entire slate and getting to centers, there's not a ton of good centers on the slate besides Embiid, Marc Gasol we can get into later, and Karl Anthony Towns. Josh Richardson, we say, day in and day out that this guy is the best player on their team, averaging 34.6 minutes in their last 5 games, 17.6 real points per game. But the guy I'm liking here is Dragic, man. I like your boy Dragic in this game at 6,300. Just steady Eddie. We always say it. This dude's price doesn't change, and here he is again at 6,300. He kind of stays between 6,300 and 67, 6,800. Never really gets more than that. Dwayne Wade, he's gone with the birth of his child. So you could look to play a Tyler Johnson, who's been playing pretty good basketball. You could also look to play a Rodney Magruder. But Magruder, take a look at Magruder. We'll pop his player card open real quick and look at it. But the minutes are kind of trending in the wrong direction for him. And so are the fantasy points. 12.4 against Philadelphia and 19.3 against Brooklyn. And take a look at the minutes. This right here, these two 26-minute games got me a little bit worried with the inconsistency. I liked it a lot better when he was down here solid 30-plus minutes and sometimes getting up to 37 minutes. So, we'll see with Magruder, depending on how this thing shakes out over the course of the next, 12 hours or so, and how builds are looking. But that's pretty much it for Miami.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, you look on the Indiana side of things. I think there's a couple guys you could look at. First thing first, you got Darren Carlson. All year, he hasn't been getting the minutes, and that's really been the problem with him. 5,000 price tag is very fair, but if you look, I mean, the past two games, he's played 36 and 34 minutes. So I'm kind of thinking maybe Indiana, realize he's their best point guard that they have. They're going to play in the minutes, and if he's going to play even 32 minutes at a 5,000 price tag, I think he's a very, very fair price tag and a good GPP play. You look at Oladipo. Problem with Oladipo is he's almost 10,000. I don't want to pay 10,000 for Oladipo. I mean, I'm sorry. I've understand he's had good games, but I'm not paying 10,000 for him. I mean, GPP wise, you could throw him in there. Hopefully, he gets you 60 fantasy points, 65, but that's really where his limit is. So for me, strictly GPP Oladipo. I like Carlson if he's going to get the minutes. Bogdanovich, first thing real quick, Tyreek Evans, they're just wasting this guy. This guy is barely getting, 18, 20 minutes a game. This dude's a baller. He needs to be in that starting lineup playing close to 30 minutes a game. They just haven't done it yet. So they're wasting Tyreek Evans. You got Bogdanovich, 5,300. I think he's a solid GPP play. He's definitely not, a cash game play, but upside wise, I mean, he has, I would say, about 40 fantasy points upside, and at a 5.3 price tag, I definitely think that's some good upside. So you can look at him for GPPs. Power forward, you got Thaddeus Young, you got Sabonis, who's overpriced, and you got Miles Turner. They're all pretty much splitting the minutes between the three of them. So I'm going to stay away from them. So really for me, I mean, in this game, you can look at Carlson. I think he's very fair price if he's going to play those kind of minutes. I just don't know if he's consistently going to play those minutes. And then you got Oladipo, but he's a little bit overpriced, but he definitely has upside. So that's really where I'm at. It's just really Carlson and Oladipo. I'm not really looking at the big guys for Utah.
Damn, bro, I'm just watching I'm checking out the chat. I just popped up the chat real quick. Is Dwayne Fortner a member? This dude needs to sign up. If he's not, he's on a 2-game losing streak, and we're 45 clear of the cash line tonight. Come on, Dwayne, get up in here, man.
Hey, Dwayne, bro, the money team, bro.
Hey, let's move on. Utah and Philadelphia. Dude, let me just tell you something. Utah got smacked by 50 by Dallas, and I don't know what's up with Utah, but from a fantasy perspective as well, these dudes have laid duds in the last 2 games. Jay Crowder's laid duds in the last 2 games. Derek Favors is like the only guy that I would consider possibly playing tomorrow. I know it's early on. I'll do a little further dive into the slate, but
real quick, let me introduce the game real quick. We got Utah going into Philadelphia. Jimmy Butler now on the Sixers. 217.5 implied total. Philadelphia is favored by 3. So get us going, bro.
Bro, I was just jumping into it. I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm just ready to move on from the game, bro.
Yeah,
really.
No, I get you. But, hey, we got to touch each game. So there's a couple spots you got to look at a little bit on Utah. If not, let me know. We can just move on to the Philly side.
Derek Favors is probably the one spot you could look at. I think he's very fair price here at 5,400. I just think, look, they've got Embiid. We know who rebounds the basketball really well. I think the loss of Covington hurts them from an interior defensive standpoint as far as rebounding goes. Also with no Saric. Jimmy Butler, he's not known for being a great rebounder. He's a great perimeter defender, but I like Favors. I even like Jay Crowder just a little bit, but outside of that, I think that I'm not willing to pay tomorrow $7,800 for Donovan Mitchell. I don't really want to get involved with Ricky Rubio at 6,400 either. Ben Simmons is a much bigger player than Ricky Rubio is, and if Ben Simmons is going to guard Rubio does have a tendency to turn the ball over too. So I'm not really interested in this. Your rule, big man on big man, Rudy Gobert is not the play. Look, Rudy Gobert, a real-life player. He's a really good, serviceable center. Fantasy perspective, the guy's vanilla as it gets. He's got, I don't know what, man. He's like the overpriced Goran Dragic for me, right? Like that's the best way for me to put him. But I'm not playing Gobert against Joel Embiid. I'm just not going to do it. I'm not playing Gobert against Embiid, not happening. So, I'll look at favors, maybe Crowder. Outside of that, the rotation, I mean, I'm not looking to jump into a Royce O'Neal or a Dante Exum or this dude Grayson Allen who played 20 minutes the other night. I'm not doing it. So I'm good on Utah.
I mean, on the Philadelphia side of things, honestly, I'm going to be honest. It's a little bit tougher now because first thing first, I think that no matter what, Embiid's going to get his. Embiid is going to get his for sure on the Philadelphia side of things. 10.9, I honestly don't like the price tag for Embiid against Rudy Gobert. Is going to be a tough matchup. But I'm just talking about, after the Jimmy Butler trade, how things are going to kind of pan out. And I going to get his. But as far as Simmons, I think Simmons, he's not going to have the ball in his hands as much. His usage rate is definitely going to go down with Ben Simmons. I mean, with Jimmy Butler, in my opinion. That's really how I feel. I mean, you look at Ben Simmons' last game. It was Jimmy Butler's first game, and I'm not going to say that Ben Simmons is like not going to do anything anymore, but the usage is definitely going to go down. So for me, I mean, you see Jimmy Butler last game played 32 minutes, 14, 4 and 2, 20 fantasy points. Obviously, we can't look at him if he's going to get that kind of fantasy point production at that price tag. But then you got Ben Simmons. He only had 22, 29 the game before. I think Jimmy Butler's definitely going to bite into his usage rate, and his price tag is going to drop. He's going to end up being about an 8,000 player, in my opinion. Ben Simmons will be within the next couple weeks. Honestly, I mean, I'm not really looking at nobody on the Sixers side of things going against Utah. The guy I probably would look at would be JJ Redick. I mean, he's their shooter, he's their scorer. He's going to get his shots no matter what. I mean, at his price tag, I think it's a very fair price tag of 5,500. So I honestly think he's probably my favorite play on the Philadelphia side of things.
Hey, I'm going to say this about Redick, right? I'm just going to add my 2 cents on this. I think Jimmy Butler, like I said, makes him a better perimeter defensive team, but definitely Ben Simmons is going to – this guy's price is going to start to drop because his usage is going to get eaten up. They don't have a knockdown shooter outside. That's the one thing they've got. They've got Redick. Redick's the one guy that can knock shots down for him, right? But outside of that, this trade really screwed up their ability to knock down shots. So if they're the team to come out of the East, like long term, there's no way they can compete with the Warriors. They just can't. They can't. The Warriors can knock down 3 after 3 after 3, and these guys have no 3-point shooters. Ben Simmons is not a good enough shooter for a $9,100 price tag now. He's just not.
So you agree with me then, right? Then
Absolutely.
Jimmy Butler.
And if Redick were to dud tomorrow, right, I think Redick's a good play tomorrow because he's the guy that is going to have to space the floor for them and knock shots down. If he duds tomorrow night, just keep playing this guy because he's going to have some monster games, I believe, with this new.
All these dudes know that Redick is a top 5 3-point shooter in the league. They're going to give the guy the ball to shoot 3-pointers. That's the positive that JJ Redick has going for him. He's going to get shots.
The other thing, too, that I'm going to give you as well is I think a guy who benefits also as soon as he's up and healthy and he's going to get run, like normal run, Wilson Chandler will benefit from this Jimmy Butler trade as well because Wilson Chandler can't – I mean, we saw in Denver how Wilson Chandler can play the power forward spot. He's a really good power forward. He can rebound. He can block shots. He can get steals. He's long and lanky. And just watch the minutes with him. Once they start saying he's going to play 25 to 30 minutes at 3,800, he'll be a really good play until the price catches up.
No, definitely. So I'm ready to move on if you're ready to move on, bro.
Yeah, absolutely.
Next game we're going to go to, hey, this is actually, it's close to the game of the night right here, bro. You got Toronto Raptors going against Boston. Pretty much the top 2 teams in the East going against each other. We got 215 implied total, and it's crazy, bro. You got Boston favored by 1.5. I thought Toronto would be the one favored in this game.
I like the fact that we finally get – I mean, look, when Milwaukee and Toronto played, nobody thought that, the records were what they were, but nobody thought that Milwaukee was going to be in that spot to start the season. this is the game that we've been waiting for. These are supposed to be the top 2 teams in the East. So I'm liking Kawhi in this spot. The guy's still sub 10,000. He's still sub 10,000. He has 60-point upside. We know that. I like this guy Siakam, right? I think he's a really good play in this game. He's just been playing at a really solid level, getting you 30 minutes a game. Like we've mentioned before, and you've mentioned it, you've had Toronto quite a few times, in the last week or so. Ibaka playing the center spot. That's going to be an interesting matchup for me tomorrow with Al Horford and Ibaka. They're kind of like the same player. They shoot threes. They're perimeter players. They can get inside a little bit, elbow players. So, I think Siakam is a lot more physical than Jason Tatum is. Jason Tatum's a lot more of a finesse player. So, I like pretty much for me, I'll look to play Van Vliet really as maybe a pump play or a deep sleeper, because this is a type of game where Van Vliet can get some run. I like Valanciunas because I don't think Al Horford or if Valanciunas comes off the bench, I don't think and Aaron Baines matches up real well with the Valanciunas and his skill set. I always like Valanciunas when he's going to get you minutes. I like this rotation they got going on. When he's going to get you minutes and he's below $6,000, I think Valanciunas between $5,000 and $5,700 is a very fair price. He's at $5,500 now. And then Ibaka, I like Ibaka in this spot as well. So I'm liking Lowry, I'm liking Leonard, I'm liking Ibaka, Siakam, Van Vliet, and Valanciunas. I like all these guys in this spot. You could even look to play Danny Green at 4,200. I think that's about who's in play. Don't sleep on a Delon Wright either. He's in play as well at 3,600. I like a lot of what Toronto's got tomorrow.
Yeah, and I mean, on the Detroit side of things, we know Detroit has a deep bench. Detroit is – I'm sorry, not Detroit. Boston. Sorry about that. Boston, we know, has a very deep bench. I mean, these guys pretty much have a guy that could start at every position on the bench. We know that. So for me, there's 3 guys I'm really going to focus on Boston. First thing first is going to be Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving is really starting to play good again. Ever since he cut that hair, and went back to the old school quick little fade, taper, he's been playing well. He got you 50, 61, 40, 38 fantasy points. At his price tag, we need about 42. And I definitely think he can get you there. Going against Kyle Lowry, they're going to need his scoring. So he's the first guy I'm really going to look at. Second guy I'm going to look at is Gordon Hayward, 6,200. This is a guy in the past couple years in a row, been playing DFS for a while. This guy's easily $7,500 player every single night. 7,500, 7,500, 7,600, 74, always around that. So the fact right now he's 6,200. He doesn't have a minutes limit on him no more. Oh, I love him in this spot. I mean, I understand he's going to be going against Kawhi Leonard a little bit. I get that. But the price, the guy is just underpriced. Last game I played him, me and Jeremy were actually talking about it. He got us 0 at halftime. We're like, at halftime, huh?
0.2.
Okay. He got me 0.2 at halftime. And I'm like, fuck, what am I going to do? This dude fucking got me 0.2 at halftime. Sure enough, by the end of the game, he got me 29 fantasy points. His price was, I think, a little bit less, about like 5.7, 5.8. So he hit value for me. I was ecstatic. Price tag went up a couple bucks. Okay. But guess what? 6.2 for Gordon Hayward, not on a minutes limit no more. I expect him tomorrow. He's going to play 32 to 34 minutes. I love Gordon Hayward in this spot. I understand he's going to be going against Kawhi Leonard. But the guy's a baller. He's not going to back down. He's going to get his. This is he's $1,000 too cheap, in my opinion, for a guy not on a minutes limit. I like Gordon Hayward. Lastly, I'm going to go to Al Horford, 6,800. This guy, Mr. Consistent, night in, night out, he's going to get you 26 to 32 fantasy points on a minimum, and he has 40 fantasy point upside. At a 6.8 price tag, all you need for value is about 33. I really like Horford in this spot. So for me, on the Boston side of things, we're going to look at Kyrie, we're going to look at Hayward, and we're going to look at Horford, and I'm ready to move on.
Absolutely.
Definitely. So the next game we're going to talk about is going to be the Brooklyn Nets going into Washington to face the Wizards. This game has a 222 implied total. The Wizards is favored by 7 in this one.
Perfect spot right here. I told you guys the other night when we had Brooklyn on the slate, I said when we find out DeMarre Carroll is going to play 25 to 30 minutes and his price is where it's at, lock the dude in and play him, right? The other night he got 27 minutes. We got Rondé Hollis-Jefferson, who's questionable with an ankle injury. Jared Allen probably plays tomorrow. He's missed 2 games with the illness already. I can't see him missing 3 games. I would expect him to come back in this one. But DeMarre Carroll at 4,000. I love this price on this guy. We've seen what this guy's done year in and year out. He made such an impression on you when he was in Atlanta that you keep calling Tayshaun. What is his name? Tyron Prince. Keep calling Tyron Prince. DeMarre Carroll all the time.
Bro, they look alike. They look alike.
They do look alike. So that's the first thing that pops in my mind when I see this roster for tomorrow's slate is DeMarre Carroll. I think he's a mismatch for a guy like Otto Porter. He's Markieff Morris more, but I think he's better. He's a better player than a Markieff Morris is. I say it every time we have Washington on the slate. Dwight Howard soft. That could just be me. I'm a scoring Laker fan. We all know the history when this dude came to LA. He should have pulled his panties up and played basketball. Anyway, I think Dwight Howard's a soft player. So DeMarre Carroll, I like this dude at 4,000. I'll continue to play Dinwiddie, but I don't like his price at 6,000. I just don't like it. The one thing to note is that on the previous slate, D'Angelo Russell was moved from the point guard position on Fanduel over to shooting guard, $7,200. I don't know if I want to pay $7,200 for Russell. He's a bit inconsistent for me. But really for me, the guy I'm looking to play is DeMarre Carroll on this Brooklyn team. I'll take a look at Jared Allen if he plays tomorrow because I do think Dwight Howard is a soft player, and I'll also take a look at Ed Davis if Jared Allen doesn't play. So that's really it for me on the Brooklyn side.
So, I mean, on the Washington side of things, I think you look at the obvious dudes. First thing first, John Wall. Last game, he didn't have the best game. But overall, he's been having a good little run the past 6-7 games. I honestly think, unfortunately, this is sad to say, but I think that, John Wall's playing for a trade right now. He's playing well. He wants to get traded. This Washington team is going to fall apart. They have no chance of competing. And honestly, I think that they're going to end up cleaning the house. I like John Wall. I think he's a good play against Brooklyn. Brooklyn is an up-tempo team for the most part, and I like people against Brooklyn. We've done it last year. I've done it the year before. It is what it is. John Wall's a good play. Bradley Beal, for me, 8,800, he's overpriced. Maybe throw him in 3 or 4 lineups out of 150, but he's overpriced for me. You need almost 45 for him to hit value. This guy is not going to get you 45 tomorrow. Sorry, Bradley Beal. Moving on. Otto Porter, he's underpriced. He had a solid game last game. But think about Otto Porter, and it's the same thing with the Morris brother, Markieff Morris, is you got Otto Porter, Markieff Morris starting, but you got Jeff Green and Oubre both spelling them guys, and they're all pretty much splitting minutes. So I'm going to stay away from that whole situation. Lastly, you got Dwight Howard, 7,000. You need 35 for value. All year we have been playing sinners against Brooklyn. Why are we going to go away from it now? 7,000 for Dwight Howard. I think that's a very, very fair price tag. And, I obviously want him to play close to 30 minutes. He hasn't had a monster game. I think this is a spot at a 7,000 price tag. Dwight Howard could hit a 40 spot. And just have a monster game. It's just about the minutes. If he's going to get the minutes, he's going to get it. I really like Dwight Howard tomorrow against Brooklyn. I love sinners against Brooklyn. And then, it's really just you can look a little bit at John Wall, maybe Bradley Beal and GPP, and that's about it, bro. I'm not really excited about this Washington side of things.
2 things, man. This is an absolute freaking mess. The other night, Otto Porter – you said it on the video. You're like, I'm waiting for this dude. He's too good of a player. When's he going to have a good game? I had him in a few lineups. I noticed right out the gate, the dude had 13 fantasy points in the first quarter, and then he got 18 minutes for the rest of the 3 quarters and got 12 fantasy points, man. The other thing I'll say about Dwight Howard, he's played 30 minutes in 3 of the last 7 games, and his price has been below 7,000, and he still hasn't hit value. I'm not excited to play him. I'm staying away. He can wait. Put it this way. Dwight Howard, he can put up 40, and I'll be cool not getting him until he does it like in back-to-back games and his price is right. Then I'll think about playing him. I don't see any reason to play Dwight Howard tomorrow. I just don't.
Yeah, no, I get you for sure. For sure. But same time, we know he has the 45 fantasy point upside. So it's kind of like a buy low opportunity. And I have a rule that I really like: sinners against Brooklyn. You
I got you.
Over and over, take advantage of Brooklyn. That's kind of where I'm at with it.
Bro, I just gotta say, I think this guy Dwayne is new to our channel. But so I'm just gonna talk to Dwayne real quick. Dwayne, Kevin Durant in this season is not going to Washington. I don't know if you watched any of this game tonight or if you watched Draymond's press conference, but when you look at the sideline, they're getting blown out, and you look over at the bench and you see Draymond, KD, Steph, and DeMarcus Cousins laughing and having a good time. They moved on, man. They moved on, and they're not trading KD out of Golden State. Not happening, buddy.
Hey, for sure. Hey, we know that. Hey, they're going to keep that core together as long as possible, do what they got to do to make these dudes happy, bro. I mean, they're going to, as long as they have them dudes, bro, they're going to win
championship. Not to get too far off subject, but I was watching The Jump today on ESPN. I like Scottie Pippen, man. I was watching Scottie Pippen, and Scottie was talking about how much him and Michael Jordan hated Dennis Rodman, and they won 3 titles with him, man. You don't got to like your teammates. Barry Bonds, Jeff Kent, another famous one. KD's going nowhere.
Yeah, no, I feel you for sure. So say less real quick. What about Jeff Green? And we mentioned Jeff Green. Jeff Green, throw him in a couple of GPPs. He has a little bit of upside. Problem is these dudes are all shared minutes, and there's not enough minutes to go around. So I'm ready to move on to the next game. It's Sacramento going into Memphis to face the Grizzlies. This game has a 214 implied total, and Memphis is favored by 6.5. And real quick, before you get going with the Sacramento side of things, if it was up to me, I would just completely pass on this game.
You got to get over that, man. Sacramento has good plays on it. This is a good basketball team. This is a good young basketball team. They're talented. They got some good spots, man. De'Aaron Fox at 8,100. I don't mind it. He's shown us this season that he can go up there. He's had a couple of double-doubles where he's had at least 10 points and 10 assists. You just take a look at his game log, his last 3 games, 41.8, 34.4, 35.1. I know that it's pushing value at 8,100, but he has shown you 64-point upside. So I don't mind it. I know Memphis has a reputation for being a grind-down team, but Houston also has a reputation for playing extremely fast, and nobody would know that Houston is the second slowest team in the NBA this year. And I'm sure people stacked the shit out of Houston tonight thinking that game was going to go crazy. So I don't mind De'Aaron Fox. Buddy Hield at a reduced price. This guy was all the way up to $8,000 plus, down to $6,600. I don't have a problem playing Buddy Hield here either. 25.4. He's got 40-point upside. I don't mind Buddy Hield here at 60 at his just over $6,000 price tag. Another guy I'm going to tell you that I really like too is Iman Shumpert at 3,900. I like this guy, man. This guy seems to be the veteran leader of this team. 2 duds in his last 2, 13.4 and 14.9. But the guy's getting minutes. He's getting a lot of minutes for his price tag at 3,900. 26, 26, 31, 29. The guy plays a lot of minutes. He's like the veteran leader of this team. So I can see plays here, at least 3 plays. I'm not really on the Marvin Bagley III train anymore. But those are 3 guys. I don't like to play centers against Marc Gasol. The guy's really skilled, so I'll probably avoid Willie Cauley-Stein. But I will have exposure to Fox, Hield, and Shumpert tomorrow.
I mean, on the Memphis side of things, I'm not going to be playing any of them. I'm going to be honest. But I think that if you were going to throw somebody in your player pool, I think there's 4 guys. First thing first, Mike Conley. He's a little bit overpriced. Just for value, you need about 42. And, I mean, he's got us 42 in what? 1, 2, 3, 4. one of the past 6 games, he does have this 43 points, but it's kind of sporadic. His GPP play definitely think the upside is going to be low owned. I just don't like the price on him. Small forward Kyle Anderson. This guy's been getting a ton of minutes, and we know this guy doesn't score the ball necessarily, but he does a little bit of everything. He definitely fills up the stat sheet. That's what we know about him. But his price tag is rising a little bit. Do I want to pay almost 6,000? Need almost 30 for value on a guy that's got a 30 what? Hold on 1 second. Let me pull this up. Doesn't want to pull up. But anyways, hey, I'm not looking at Kyle Anderson. His price tag is getting a little high. This guy Jaron Jackson as well. His price tag is definitely getting up there. You need 35 for value. He's got us 35, I understand, in 3 of the past 5 games. But is he going to do this regularly? No. Minnesota, they got Towns, they got Gibson, they have Sark. Now, they have some big guys that are solid. I think you can look at Jackson as a GPP play, but, honestly, as a whole, I'm not really looking at this Memphis team. You got center-wise, Marc Gasol, 8,500, need about 43 for value. He's averaging 35 on the season, and he's got us 43 2 times in the past 6 games. I'm just not excited about this Memphis team. I definitely think those guys are GPP plays. And that's really where I'm at, man.
Push it. Move it.
Yeah, man. Hey, that's just not an exciting game.
No, I'm with you.
This game gets a little better, though. This game does get a little better. We got Portland Trailblazers coming off the loss to the Lakers, going against the Minnesota Timberwolves with a rejuvenated Anthony Towns. No more Jimmy Butler. This game has a 223 implied total, and Portland's favored by 1.5 in this one.
Dame, man, think it's a very fair price at $9,000. I like this guy. 9,400 is the price tag. Dame's a very fair price. I think we saw last night. We saw Minnesota score a lot of points, play a very, very fast-paced game. I think Portland likes to get up and down the floor as well. So, I like guys in this game. I like Dame. I like McCollum. I like Aminu. I like Evan Turner. Those are the 4 guys that I'll look to add to my player pool tomorrow for tournaments. You can even take a look at a guy like Zach Collins if you want to, just for his upside in tournaments. But for me, I'm going to throw Lillard. I'm going to throw Nurkic. I'm going to throw McCollum, Aminu, and Turner in my player pool tomorrow for sure. I'll have exposure to all those guys. I like this game, like you said. I think this is going to be one of the better games of the night.
Yeah, no, definitely. Honestly, to be completely real, I'm kind of just figuring out what to do on the Minnesota side of things. So I think Teague is a guy definitely going to get his minutes. 75. What is he? He is 6,900. We need about 35 for value from Teague. And he's been playing well the last couple games. I think Teague's a really good play on the Minnesota side of things. Derrick Rose is going to come back. But I think that they're going to play him kind of as combo guards next to each other. Derrick Rose, I mean, he sat out last game, but we've seen what he's been doing. 29, 38, 35, 35. He's been very consistent. So at the same time, I want to say that he's overpriced, but he's been hitting these prices. So I think that Jeff Teague, Derrick Rose, both in play against Portland. I'm not really worried about Lillard or McCollum's defense. I like both of those guys. Andrew Wiggins, he's a guy that definitely has to step it up. He has stepped it up. With no Butler, they're going to need his scoring. He has 40 fantasy point upside, and at the price tag of 6.9, we need about 34, 35 for value. I definitely think he can get you that in this matchup. Covington, 6,500. Last game, he didn't, hit this kind of price tag. But what I'm looking at for this dude, he's kind of, we always talk about it. When people get traded, they get rejuvenated. You got this guy Covington got traded. He's like, hey, I want to do good for my new team. And he didn't do nothing special. 29 fantasy points. But the fact he played 31 minutes, he's taking Butler's minutes. This guy's going to play a ton of minutes. At 6,500, we know this guy can knock down three-pointers, very good defender, get some defensive stats, get some rebounds. I like Covington a lot. I think the price tag is very fair if he's going to play close to 40 minutes. And then, the Todd Gibson, Saric, I think they're going to split minutes. I'm staying away from that. Lastly, Karl-Anthony Towns. Hey, the guy, no Jimmy Butler. Hey, past 3 games, very good. Past 4 out of the past 5 games, very good. Think the guy's going to start picking it up. He's going to, in my opinion, I think this dude's going to average about 25 points a game, like actual scoring points. I think he's going to be their scoring leader on this team. I like Towns a lot in this spot. I don't think that, he's going to go against Nurkic, so it kind of goes against my rule of do I want to play really good big guys against each other. But Towns isn't a guy that really gets in foul trouble too much. So I like Towns, and that's really where I'm at on the Minnesota side of things.
Ready to move on? Let's move on.
Move on, bro. Next game we're going to go into, it's going to be the New York Knicks going into New Orleans to face the Pelicans. This game has a 228 implied total, and New Orleans is favored by 10.
Kevin Knox. This is a guy that I'm going to play tomorrow again. I had him in my core yesterday at 4,400. And I said in my core video that the guy played 24 and 25 minutes. He got 29 minutes against Oklahoma City. They nursed the guy back from that ankle injury where he went 4 minutes, 9 minutes, kind of nursed him back. And then boom, he jumps up 24, 25, and now 29. We know that you can take big guys against New Orleans. It's been a theme of the past for the past 2-3 years. You can play big guys here. So Enes Kanter's in play as well at 6,000. It's all about minutes with Kanter. Tim Hardaway, absolute dud last night against Oklahoma City. But $7,000 and, against a team that's going to give up a lot of points. They're not going to play a lot of defense. They're going to try and beat you with their offense. A good perimeter player. I can't see, unless he draws the Drew Holiday treatment, he could be the one that draws a Drew Holiday treatment just because, you're not really worried about a Trey Burke who's not getting any run. You're not really worried about a Damian Dotson. You're not really worried about the Nicolina. So he could get the Drew Holiday treatment. But for me, the number one play on this side of it for me is Kevin Knox. Good young player, $4,900 price tag. His price is going to continue to climb as his minutes and production go up. I could see this guy being a $6,000 player in the near future. He has double-double upside. Very exciting young player. So Knox is the one play for me in this one.
Yeah, so on the New Orleans side of things, there's 4 guys I like. 4 guys. First thing first, I think Alfred Payton's going to be out. This dude, Drew Holiday, is an absolute monster. Bro, hey, you my boy, bro. We cool as fuck. If we have a Drew Holiday on defense treatment, then obviously we know this fucking guy's good. You feel me?
Yeah, right.
So this guy, hey, he is fucking stellar when he plays the point guard. But I don't know why New Orleans wants to bring in Alfred Payton this year. Last year it was Rondo. Just let Drew Holiday play the point guard, bring in a good shooting guard. You know what I mean?
I'm with it.
So this guy, he's getting close to 10 assists a game. Scoring some buckets. He fills up the stat sheet, make a long story short. I understand right now his price tag is up a little bit, 8.8. You need about 44 for value. But I definitely think if this game stays any way and shape possible close, Drew Holiday will get close to that value. This guy's an awesome point guard, fills up the stat sheet when he plays point guard. And as long as Alfred Payton's out, I'm going to continue going back to the well with Drew Holiday. You go to shooting guard, small forward position. You got Mirotic. He's cooled down a little bit since his, recent, when he first started the season on fire. But I think he's still a decent GPP play. You need about 38 for value. On the season, he is averaging about 33, almost 34. I like him once again. Definitely think he's strictly a GPP play. But my boy Etuan Moore, The only reason I'm talking about this dude, bro. Hey, Jeremy, you there?
Yeah.
Bro, I'm not talking about this guy Etwan Moore because he's got me 37 and 42 the past two games. I'm talking about this dude Etwan Moore because I've played him and we've been about a month into the NBA season, so we would say about 30 slates. I've played him in about 10. I've been playing this guy over and fucking over. This guy has some upside. He can shoot. They're gonna play him a ton of minutes. Etwan Moore, I think, is a really good play. Price tag is still very fair. 5.3 going against New York. Man, I like him in this spot. Anthony Davis is an obvious guy. The only problem with Anthony Davis is it going to be a blowout? If we think this game is going to be close, then you play Anthony Davis. But if not, then you probably got to fade him because 12.8, that's a crazy price tag. Just to get value, we need almost 65. 65 just for value. So I don't know if this guy is the guy that we really need to pay up on this slate in a game we may think is a blowout, but I do like him. And then you go to Randall. His price tag is very fair. And if he's gonna start, last game he only played 14 minutes. I don't know what happened, to be honest. I need to look into this. But the two games before, he played 37, 35. He got us 43 and 45 fantasy points. If he's gonna get us down on 6.8 price tag, it's a great play. So we got to check out some news tomorrow, see what's going on with Randall. But that's really where I'm at. For me, it's just Holiday. You can look at more Anthony Davis and Julius Randle, and that's it for me.
Yeah, man. Let's get into the last one. Let's do the last game of the night. I think the last game of the night's a blowout, but let's top it off.
Yeah, so last game is going to be Chicago Bulls going into Milwaukee to face the Bucks. This game has a 224.5 implied total. Milwaukee's favored by 13.5.
Yeah, man. So Chicago, the obvious play here is Zach LaVine, $8,400. I like big men against Milwaukee. I have all year. So Wendell Carter Jr., and I think that the power forward position tomorrow is probably a little bit shallow. So he's a dude you can look at. I can't pronounce Archidechano's name. I just butcher it every time, but 28.8 minutes is what he's averaged over his previous 5 games. So, he's a guy you could look to play as well. Justin Holiday, man, here's the thing. Justin Holiday at 5,300 is getting a ton of minutes. So you can look to play him as well. Jabari Parker is the theme here, but you can just briefly take a look at Justin Holiday's minutes, a guy who's off the radar here, 31 minutes, 36 minutes, 37, 38, even a 46-minute game. So Justin Holiday is a guy that's playing a ton of minutes. He's a guy you could look to play at your shooting guard number 2 tomorrow. And then Jabari Parker going against his old team, going back to Milwaukee at 6,400, 32.4 minutes, 15.6 points per game over his last 5 games. You do take a look, though. He's not really getting any other ancillary stats. But Wendell Carter Jr., he's a guy that I'll probably look to get a little exposure to. Jabari Parker, a little exposure to. But I like Zach LaVine and I like Justin Holiday. I look to mismatch both those guys tomorrow in tournaments. And that's really it for me on that side.
I mean, on the Milwaukee side of things, like we talked about, we think this game's going to be a blowout. If it's not, it's fine. Milwaukee side, there's 3 guys you look at. First thing first, Eric Bledsoe. This dude never does nothing special, but he's consistent. 7.5 price tag. We need 35 for value. He's always going to get you close to that, in my opinion. You look at Chris Middleton. He's their best scorer, their best shooter in general. He's been consistent for the most part on the season. Gotta like him. And then you go to the main man, Antetokounmpo. Can we pay, 55? He needs 55 for value. Can we pay that price tag to get him 55? Maybe you can. Maybe you can't. But I just think this is a blowout. I'm going to stay away from them. For me, if I was going to play anybody in this game, it would be Bledsoe or it would be Middleton, and that's about it for me.
Yeah, I'm looking in the chat real quick. I just want to touch on one thing, man. Hey, I'm going to hit Say Less real quick. Say Less, man. This dude is always up in here. He's a loyal follower. I like this dude, man. Always interacted with him, so I got to show him some love back. Bro, I don't care who it is. I know that when teams are really bad and any professional sport, the conversation always becomes, can a college team beat them? Hell no, they can't. You can't. Grown men can't. Grown men, kids got no business messing around with grown men. It's not going to happen. Alabama couldn't come in and smoke the worst team in the NFL. Won't happen. I'll even take. I will give you this though. I know we're a little off topic here, man, but the only team that I ever had a chance to play to beat any professional sports team as a college team was the old Miami teams that had like Shockey, Ed Reed, I mean Willis McGahee. They had Frank Gore. Those teams, they may have had a chance, but no, Duke cannot go in and beat the Cavs.
Hey, bro, I think Duke could go in and beat the Cavs.
Not happening, bro.
Bro, Zion Williams is better than any player on the Cavs right now. I don't care if he's a freshman in college. He's better than any player on the Cavs.
And guess what happens, bro? Let me tell you something. We send kids off every year, right? We send kids off every year to college, and after their first year of college, they come back and they're bigger. After their first year of college, because they get their grown man strength. Tristan Thompson will take a forearm right across Zion's fat face, bro. I'm telling you right now, there ain't no chance. I'm not taking nothing away from Duke, but there's no chance that any college team would ever go in and beat a professional team. If they're a professional team, dudes are pros. You got player for player. You got to go player for player, right? Player for player.
Hey,
Rodney
my boy
Hood, Jordan Clarkson.
AJ, you my boy. I love you, bro. But my boy Marv, my boy Say Less, bro. I think Duke would beat the Cavs, bro.
You're crazy, man.
Bro, Zion is not. I mean, he's their best player, but the other guy is a monster as well, bro. They got top two picks, bro. They can beat the Cavs, bro. If you're gonna compare them to Sexton, who was their first round pick last year, bro, they will beat them.
It doesn't matter. Your two guys can't beat a team, an NBA team. Can't beat an NBA team. Cannot do it. Not gonna happen. Plus, hey, you got to look at other factors. The 3-point line's in a different spot. Where we playing? We playing this on a college floor? We playing this on an NBA floor?
I get you.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you got real, true professionals out there. Larry Nance, we know how good Larry Nance is. Forget, what's going on with them as far as the rotation goes and all this stuff. But you got to look at, you got grown men, real athletes out there.
Larry Nance would have a field day. Larry Nance would definitely have a field day. But the other guys is what we're talking about.
I think Jordan Clarkson would too. Clarkson's got some thug in him, man. We know that.
Hey, Clarkson, Nance, the old Lakers, they would definitely have a field day, but the other guys are soft, bro. So, hey, I'm ready to get up out of here, man. Hey, I don't want to waste too many people's times. Thank you very much for helping me out on this slate, though, Jeremy, for sure. I definitely think we had a good breakdown. And, hey, good luck for everybody tomorrow on your lineups. You got any more questions, hit us up, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram.
Hey, bro, real quick, I just want to say point one thing out on this video, because a lot of people are going to watch this video after we do it, and they don't pay attention to the interactive chat going on. But Zach is just another guy who took the advice, hopped in the optimizer. He's talking about optimizer went off for him. So you're watching the video, man. We've been trying to tell you guys, use the optimizer as part of the cash game strategy. We got new members coming on every single day. If you're watching this video, trying to get a little early morning, Friday morning shoot around with your coffee, be like Zach. Hop in the optimizer, get the membership, go in the optimizer, put the 150 lines in, man. Be like Zach.
Anyway, so yeah, hey, Duke would beat Cavs. We have already established that tonight. Hey, let's go Duke. Let's go.
Dunk contest with Larry Nance Jr., bro.
Thanks for checking out this video. And hey, hit me up. Facebook, Twitter, Instagram @RotoBeast. Peace out, guys. Later.